Good afternoon. The administrators, PricewaterhouseCoopers, have just announced that under half of Game Group's stores in the UK are closing with immediate effect, with the loss of around 2,100 jobs. After a review of the business, 277 shops will cease trading this evening. Staff will formally be made redundant on Friday. The video games retailer, which went into administration this morning, employs just over 5,500 people in the UK. PwC, though, says it's still hopeful that the rest of the business can be sold as a going concern. Well, with me is David Birne, who's an insolvency partner at the accountants HW Fisher and Company. You can offer us some insight here, David, into the sort of process that goes on. On the headline, though, this is pretty brutal stuff. 40% of the company's staff have been told, we'll pay you till Friday, and I'm afraid you don't have a job.
The problem the administrators have is they need to cut costs immediately, and the cost that they can cut is closing down shops and laying off staff. It's an immediate exercise in order to try to maximise the amount of money which they can get from the remaining parts of the business.
PwC were only appointed 5 days ago. Have they had enough time to really get their head round what the problems with the business is? How can we be confident that they know what they're doing?
I'm sure that PwC were involved prior to this 5-day period of intention to appoint, and during that time they would have evaluated not just the business itself, but maybe even sounded out potential buyers for the business.
Generally speaking, I mean, we learn actually from PwC that they're liaising with a number of parties who've expressed an interest in buying part or all of the business and assets of the group. I mean, this is a company which is heaving with debt, which clearly has got a problem in as much as it's loss-making, and the business model looks like it belongs to another time, another period. I mean, where is the value in this business? How do you sell a business to a would-be buyer?
Well, it has a number of locations, some of which are profitable and hopefully will generate positive cash. It has a website which is worth money. It has a name which is known throughout the industry as being the name to buy games, computer games. So it's got to have a value there because the general public like game.
Generally speaking, when an administrator goes in, are all the jobs that you would reasonably expect to be lost in that first cut when you're looking to cut costs? I mean, what I'm thinking of here is that there are 2,814 people who remain with the business. It still has 333 stores. How confident can we be there won't be further job cuts, there won't be further store closures?
It's very difficult to answer that question. PwC may well have a plan. They may well have people that are interested in the business at the moment and in a certain pared down structure. It's only then that they can really tell what they're going to do with it. The staff will just have to sit tight in the hope that the administrators can sell the business and save their jobs at the same time.
In this sort of situation, what is a typical success rate? How often can an administrator find a buyer to take on the whole of the business as a going concern? What percentage of times, or what ratio of?
Well, again, it comes down to the hope that PwC already have potential buyers in hand that are just ready to complete, because a sale needs to take place very quickly because they've got the payroll costs, and I understand staff are going to be paid their money shortly, but you need to make sure that ongoing they're going to have ability to pay the staff.
This is a company which owes something in the region of £85 million to its banks, a consortium of 6 banks led by Royal Bank of Scotland. We understand that one of the options clearly is that the banks exchange the debt that they're owed for effectively ownership of the company. Is that usual?
It is a possible idea. I think it's quite a complex arrangement to put in place. And I understand that PwC are thinking about that. Is reported.
But that's last resort stuff, isn't it?
It may well be that the only option available if the purchasers all pull out, the third-party purchasers pull out.
OK, David Birne, partner at HW Fisher and Company. Thank you very much for joining us to discuss that. Well, the final problem for Game was a £21 million rent bill that was due today.